Don't worry, Parent fans, you're safe in here. Unless Mashima goes insane. No more of those ice puns. Although chapter 498 did have Gray and Invel going head to head showing off their coolness. Oh, sorry. The fight doesn't go far as Mashima decided to place Gray in a different scenario. This was a good chapter. Would have been nice to see more action, but the cliffhanger is something to look forward to, especially for the shipping fans. See, you're safe here for the time being. As I like this chapter, this was a pretty straightforward one. As to say, there is not that many things to talk about. The action itself was decent for what it was. It has to change it up because the plan from Invel started to arise after Gray showcased what can he really do, because in the beginning he was not that much of a worthy opponent with just a normal ice power. However, once the Devil Slayer magic brought up, that's where all the interest come to him, and it makes sense. What I'm really relieved to know is the Devil Slayer magic isn't being brushed off just to be a simple power up for Gray, but to be something more of a consequences waiting to unfold. So it's not acting like it's going to be just a stronger power, rather it uses this condition it can do, because a lot of people were so upset with the last time we see Gray with the Devil Slayer magic. All recall that it felt like its time has changed, and I didn't mind too much about that, but it feels like a wasted opportunity. However, now they bring it up more of the idea that Gray can turn to the dark side at any time or at any rate in this point, and this one is forcing to make him to turn to the dark side. And I know a lot of people is going to think about Sasuke. I get it. I understand nobody likes the anti-hero storyline, the gimmick, whatever you want to say. I can understand that. I think it should not be ignore the possibility of the darkness that's supposed to have within Gray and having the Devil Slayer magic. So now I'm actually happy to know that they're actually going to use more benefit to that kind of power rather than just leave it as it is, because that was disappointing to know when that really happened before. So I'm actually kind of like the direction they're trying to put out, and hopefully it doesn't brush off. If it doesn't ever happen of him turning to the dark side or at least get consumed by it for a brief moment, then it's a bit disappointing, but at least they made it into something that could be tested on, and at least we are seeing some test to it. But if it does happen, then it actually makes it more the merrier. It actually says the Devil Slayer magic is really very dangerous because it could really consume you, and then you have to fight your own friends. So that's something that needs to address, and it seems like they are playing with it. Whether if it does happen or not, at least it's still acknowledged to be that case. Now, one thing I have to comment with what I don't consider a pros and cons, but it's a story information, is the whole Brandish taking Natsu and Lucy away from the battle. I think she's helping them because I feel like this is the only people that she has respect in some sort. That, or she's just doing her job, and along the way it's going to be a moment of her character development into having to deal with the situation between Springer 12 and Fairy Tail, or mainly Natsu and Lucy, since they are the only one that know Brandish from top to bottom in terms of her characteristic. Well, mainly Lucy. Now with the real deal is the Gray and Juvie are the only one in the battlefield or Invel, only to get Ice Lock, and I think this is a good idea to have this tension brewing. Now I know a lot of people will be reminded with Gajio with his tension of getting killed off, and I understand we should not think about some character would get killed off. However, what I want is tension rising in a war that cannot have the good guys have everything so easily done. I don't expect death, but I expect some troublesome moments. I expect hardship. I expect their feelings being tested on. So in this case, it's the pairing wise. It seems like a perfect timing if you come from a Bleach fandom, if you're one of those Bleach pairing fan. I'm not going to say if you get the memo. Basically, This is about the pairing that has no choice but to fight each other because the control of their body is lost to this ice slot. They pretty much make them into like a puppet and just do it at their will until one of them dies. In this case, Juvia is in trouble. Invel already got the idea that Gray is going to easily kill her off since his power is more stronger than Juvia, let alone the fact ice freeze water. That's no brainer. So I like this tension, and I don't know if the darkness of Gray will happen here, but I do think it should happen later on. It could happen when he finds out Wu's end, and that would be something that would be a really nice test as long as you don't bring Silver back to life. An easy development by having the past telling the present to not to do this. Rather let the present do something to do. I learned this by myself. I did not get a helping hand. I want that to be the case. This chapter has a nice tension rising at the very end of the chapter. It has some decent action. It's short, but I was entertained. It's not much content here, but in the end, I actually enjoyed this chapter. It was enjoyable for what it was. And hey, the pairing fans is going to be delighted for the next chapter, so get ready for those people screaming out of their lungs. I don't mind. I'm used to it by now. Chapter 498. Guess A7. Oh, I know those pairing fans are going to be delighted to see the next chapter. Well, mainly Gray and Juvia, but still, I don't mind about that as long as the writing is good, because it could lead to a cheesy, corny resolution to break the ice lock unless there is some twist, but we gotta wait and see. So hopefully everything goes well. I do not mind the pairing. Just make it done nicely and there will be no much complaint from me. My thoughts are told. Don't let yours on hold. Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.